Okay. Can you hear me now? Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me now? There we go. Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me now? All right. Let's try this again. Start with a little bit of music. Yeah. Technical difficulties. This is for my white trash. The ones the whole world hates. The ones who voted for Trump, they got labeled racist, but ain't. The ones with all cash. Make America great. Who love their country to death and struggle on minimum wage. Hey, they're angry that illegal aliens taking work the baby kids. Single parents with some baby kids. Hated for being a patriot. All my life I've been white trash. All my life it's been like that. The whole world been left leaning. I'm proud of the right to fight back. Bitch, shoot up and spit out. They screaming, no one listens. They're showing love and vote for Trump to swap a politician. There are neighbors, there are soldiers, a minute days out. They screaming, no one listens. And God we trust in all the guns and just back up. Rocking camouflage, don't tread out me, get smoked like tobacco. Yeah, we white trash, we rednecks, crackers since we were young. We grew close, we move slow, these colors don't run, yeah. Colors white trash, something they know. Colors white trash, something here we go. Is it white trash, we be happy and roll. And I'm white trash. Yeah, fuck you, I'm right, bro, I ain't podcast for shit. You don't like my skin's cold, then you can suck my dick. I like open gun laws, I like drinking bar brawls, I like drinking Budweiser, I like smoking night rolls. You monstered up in them monster trucks, only in heavy machinery. We up believing we're taking what's ours, if we fuck with us, we got that heavy machinery. Drink beers in a lawn chair, nothing much going on here. I get a few long stares, you don't belong here. Some are mad at me, adding up with a barrier. People are judging me from that superior. Man, you serious, say that we're fighting me back in the furious. That job, and I'm sick as fuck. Like blue on my face, I'm fucking shotguns, my bills, money, I'm a firecracker, we crazy fuck. We just living our best life, don't wrap us up some back scandal. Being blood on the right, Peter jacked up on Jack Daniels. Yeah, my chicken and Colonel Sanders judge me and I'm backhand him. Tom asked me that red mask and I beat his ass with an axe handle. Colors white trash, they know. Colors white trash, here we go. Is it white trash, we be happy and roll. And I'm white trash. White trash, drinking beer till the night pass. White trash, got a fire if it's cold. White trash, we don't wanna be high class. White trash, we don't hold let it go. Cause white trash, something they know. Cause white trash, here we go. Is it white trash, we be happy and roll. And white And just so YouTube knows, this isn't my music. All rights go to Tom McDonald and the Hangover gang. Let's do the next song. And Kim Arnott, you can take this one to the bank.
Honestly,
Y'all have been killing my confidence. All of the negative comments and gossip. It's hard to imagine the stress that I'm under. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm sorry for spitting the truth. I'm sorry for dissing that dude. Sorry for missing the point of the criticism. I was blinded by diamonds and loot. I apologize to all you guys. Y'all were right. I was out my mind. I went too far. I did too much. The haters were right when they said I sucked. I did my best. It did nothing for me. I gave my guts and got lost in glory. I'm standing here while you sit before me. There's nothing left but to say I'm sorry. That doesn't bother me. I don't owe anybody an apology. I don't have no regrets in my biology. Read on the shoot with the stars. I look like astronomy. No one is honest. Me copy me comedy. Wanna be jealous from shockingly comedy. Carry the weight of my songs on top of me. How will I break? I'm not made out of pottery. Bury your bodies on acres of property. Place them in angles and sacred geometry. Down with the modesty. Everything I drop is quality. Promise like honesty. Follow me. I ain't gonna stop with the youth. Don't walk with the kid. I'm black like pop with a beard. I'm a god with a beard. No cops in the crib. Don't pop cause I'm lost with this. Underrated, overrated, hated, complicated calculations. Made to rate the paper. Razor chocolate flavor. 30% Jason angels in my heart. I'm Satan in the basement. Paints and hands and razors. What is making baby straight imagination. Fatal combination. Labels all the daily. Hopping on the use and basic translation is I don't give a fuck. Sorry, I got a point of you. It's like a pistol you don't want to point at you. Y'all are annoying, dude. Y'all are like rats racing in a gas chamber. Y'all can't avoid the fumes. Y'all in a cage, not like the range thoughts. I like great shots with the chainsaws. Get your brain chopped in the eight box to your face off. In the graveyard of my days off. With this cock aim and I straight shots to your legs lock and your pain five in a day's break. Y'all get laid off. My girl shot every single fucking video. My heart wrote every single fucking song. Power my children, my kids will be integral. Obviously, I'm a fucking god. I'm gonna go and tolerate you and I'm offering coffee to anyone that never thought me about me. I'm not gonna get your robbing and rich $5 a pop in the crib. I'm talking the harder and harder and harder will come to the targets and darkness with me. Hey, y'all don't comprehend, I'm often on the mend. The rest of the lot, I break the love of people who were friends. I've been anxious, I've had breakdowns that were all inside my head. I regret a lot of things, now I don't stop going revenge. Knock, knock, who's there? Y'all fucked around and let death in. I'm John Lennon, I'm Michael Jackson, I'm Cobain, I'm separate. Your best friend, your dead ends, your best bets are far best. Your next best are the bold joke. Your death threats were no stars.
And again, YouTube, all rights reserved by Tom McDonald. All music is owned by Tom McDonald. I don't own any of that music. I just thought they were kind of fitting for this little rebuttal video. So let's get to the brass tacks of it. I woke up this morning to a video made by Kim Arnott talking shit, thinking she controls me and knows when I need to or don't need to make an apology. You can go fuck yourself. You don't dictate when or if I make an apology. I'll make an apology when I feel it's justified, as I've done in the past. You don't get to dictate that shit. And you can go ahead and be a coward and put your videos on private, but I still get notified when you talk your stupid shit. Now, I haven't been part of your fucking little drama LARP for over a week now. I've tried to get away from it. Several people have tried to pull me back in, and I'm sick of it. It's bullshit. If you guys want to be your little drama club and your little trailer park crap, do it. But leave my fucking name out of your fucking mouth. Now, that's Kim Arnott's part. Now, as for Wendy / Tamaratard, this woman has the most vulgar mouth I think I've ever heard on a woman in my entire life. I sent her an email telling her that her last video, well, I sent her a video or an email last night telling her that her last video was very vulgar, talking about abortion, talking about how certain children aren't miracles. I believe every child is a miracle. Now, how they grow up, that's up to the parents and the environment that they're subjected to. You could say that certain serial killers aren't a miracle. When they were born, they were absolutely a miracle. What the environment produced and what their parents taught them and raised them as, that's a different story. But every child is a miracle. But as for Tamaratard, aka Wendy, aka Tamara Wolf, you are a vulgar, disgusting woman. You should have just stuck to your stupid little YouTube marriage LARPs. That's what you should have stuck to. But no, you had to fucking bring my mouth into your fucking business again. Like I said, I sent you a private email. You could have kept it private, but no, you chose. You chose. By free will, you chose to put my name out your fucking mouth. So here's my rebuttal video. I think you're a trashy woman. I think you're a lying bastard. I think your parents raised you very, very disgustingly. The things that come out of your mouth and the things your imagination comes up with that you put in your videos is absolutely disgusting. I just don't understand. Like how does a woman how does a woman that should be a lady but definitely isn't a lady, how does a woman talk about abortion so freely and that she supports it? That's murder. And I'm no Christian or anything, but I believe in a higher presence. I am very spiritual, but a lot of these people in this drama LARP have very dark energy, have a very dark heart, and it's no wonder that so many people are walking away from you. This past week, I watched a good chunk of the trailer park implode, which was technically none of my business, but I did observe it. So I'll give you my opinion because this is my rebuttal video and it is my channel. You deserved every fucking bit of it. When you make other people's business your business, you open yourself up for catastrophe. You open yourself up for criticism. You open yourself up for all this bullshit that you guys have been carrying on about and crying about for the last, 5, 6 years? Definitely the last 3 years. And these scripts that you go off of, it's insane. I mean, it's literally, you can't make a soap opera better than this, because most soap operas that you watch on TV or you watch on YouTube, you can't interact with. That's why I call this a LARP. It's a live action role play, drama, soap opera. You can interact. You can get in the chat room. You can come on panel. You can make yourself part of it. I've made my mistakes in the past. I walked away from a very dark channel, from a set of 3 very dark individuals. Thought I was going over to a more enlightened channel and a better group of people, but that group is just as dark. Well, I can't say just as dark, but pretty close. I mean, you sit there and body shame people. You sit there and talk shit about people. I mean, you literally don't have anything better to do than to criticize and belittle people. It's fucking madness. When are you going to grow up and let the fucking past be the past and move on? When are you going to keep other people's names out of your fucking mouth? It's disgusting. I just don't fucking understand. I picture you guys back in high school and you were the people that walked down the halls and bullied people, that you got in these little cliques and you belittled the outcast kid or the kid with special needs or the kid that just didn't fit in right. You're the type of people back in high school that literally caused kids to commit suicide because they couldn't fit in because you wouldn't allow it. And Kim, whoever said the other day that you have a dark heart, They're absolutely right. Because you do. Because you allow this stuff to be on your channel. You give them a platform to talk shit about other people. It's freaking disgusting. In a certain way, YouTube should have a few more rules about what they would consider hate speech and a hate platform, because that's exactly what you, Tamara, and several others run. I mean, there was just a video the other night by the Three Stooges. It was supposed to be an after party. Well, it turned into just a hate party. The same hate party that's been going on for 3 years. To the same person that I'm talking shit about today. The woman's batshit crazy and she's vulgar. But that doesn't mean you get to freaking belittle her and ridicule her for years on end. It's disgusting. Very disgusting. And it saddens my heart that I ever was part of either one of those fucking groups. You know, I quit drinking. You guys want to talk shit? Keep fucking talking shit about my drinking. I quit drinking. I quit smoking weed. I've done all these fucking things to improve my life. I got away from the drama. I have this channel right here. It was set up to not be part of the drama. But what I woke up to this morning was bullshit. Y'all want to suck me back in? Well, here I am. Here's your freaking rebuttal video, as you call them. It's fucking disgusting. You people have a very sick heart and full of hate. Very, very dark energy. You know, Tamara talks about energy all the time, and the light and the dark and the light magic and the dark magic. All she is she's dark energy, pure dark energy. She has a fucking black heart. Kim, I used to think you were a freaking nice person. I used to think you were a nice lady, but you've proven yourself that you have a dark heart too. That you entice and encourage the hatred that is the YouTube soap opera. As the YouTube turns, that's what gets you guys clicks. That's what gets you guys likes. And a lot of the people in your chat rooms encourage it and participate in it, which makes them just as guilty and just as dark as the person holding the platform. It's disgusting. And like I said, I regret and hate myself for ever being part of it. I was part of it on the Three Stooges channels. I was part of it in the trailer park. It's disgusting. And you're right. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to change anything. You guys are supposedly grown adults, but you're acting like freaking high school kids that pick on the outcasts and the ones that aren't in your little clique. And you're full of shit if you say, well, they said this, so I'm going to say that. When are you going to be the bigger person and just step away from it? Because they said your name? And here I am. I'm just as guilty. I'm making this freaking rebuttal video. I'm glad I met you too, Debbie. You're a very sweet lady. And yo, mama, me and you've had words before, and I've said some hateful things to you. I apologize. I'm not sure who Shoestring is. In Outlaw Nation, you can go kiss my ass. You tried to suck me in the other night when you were all drunk. And Angela, I'm glad to see you here, if you're still here. And Clovis, glad you're here as well. Yeah, Shoestring, she did. It's kind of weird. And now, since then, there's a lot more sexual innuendos and sexual humor on her channel, which is creepy as well. I mean, these are grown people, you know, relatively older ladies and older gentlemen, and they're sitting there just the dark humor, very, very dark humor. Yeah, a relationship that should have been totally private the whole damn time. But again, grown children that want to take things live on the internet and add to as the YouTube turns. It is sickening. I know, Debbie, it's not going to stop, but I did have to come on here and say my piece, because what I woke up to this morning was disgusting. Um, like I said, Wendy, Tamara, whatever the fuck she wants to call herself, she's a very disgusting and vulgar woman. And for her to say the shit that she said, that I should have been aborted, that my mom should have put me in a Smucker's jar as a child. Who says that kind of shit? I mean, that is just very sick. No, I don't know. Some say it would, some say it wouldn't. I don't know, Angela. I guess it depends on how dark your humor is, how sexual your humor is. I don't know. I only got to know you a short period of time, so I don't know how dark your humor is. But I do know some of these other people are very, very dark people. And the shit their imagination comes up with and the things they spew out of their mouth. Like I said, for a woman to sit here on a platform like this, open to the public, and say things like my mother should have aborted me and put me in a Schmucker's jar, that's just outright disgusting. To outside of very specific circumstances to endorse and promote and support abortion is fucking disgusting. If you support abortion as a birth control tactic, if you support abortion as a woman's right to do whatever she wants to another human being, that's fucking disgusting. It's one thing if a woman gets raped or if a woman's health is at risk for the full term pregnancy. Those are probably the two passes I'll give a woman for abortion. Anything beyond that, and you're a chicken shit piece of garbage that is using it as birth control. Thank you, Angela. I've been to your channel a couple times, and I think your channel's cool. Your show that you did the other day on mental abuse was a great show. Yeah, I mean, to claim that you're married and to have YouTube husbands and to not think that is a what do you call it, disrespectful to your husband, that's you're outright lying to yourself. I mean, if you're watching porn without your spouse or your love, your significant other, that a lot of people consider that cheating. This world has turned into a very disgusting and vulgar place, and YouTube has its pluses and its minuses. And I tried to make my channel part of the pluses. I'm trying to steer away from the drama, but when things like the things that were said this morning come out, I've got to say something. Outlaw Nation, all I was trying to do on those channels or on Kim's channel was to show the addiction to this drama. We've as children and teenagers and young adults, we've been raised ever since the late 70s, early 70s even, with drama. You've got sitcoms, you've got soap operas. We've all been raised around drama, and it becomes a mental addiction. And there is such a thing in your brain that releases dopamine. I forget the gland that releases it, but there's a gland in your brain that releases dopamine. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, frightened, mad, all your emotions, they trigger that gland and it releases a certain amount of dopamine. And dopamine is way more addictive than heroin, meth, fentanyl, any of these other drugs. And our own brain releases it. Well, you're probably right, Outlaw. And I've learned my lesson. I will never go on one of these other channels and try to expose jack shit because, well, we're all supposed to be adults here, and ain't nobody going to listen to some nobody. But I can definitely point it out, and whether you agree with it or not, even the people in chat that watch this, whether it's for the fights or the heartwarming stories or the sad stories or the scary stories, if you can't walk away from it for a week or two at a time, and you got to make content, as they air quote, content videos every day, which involve drama, then you have a mental addiction to something, and it's sad. It really saddens my heart. I know, mommy, you laugh about a lot of things, and I know that, man, and I recognize that now. And again, I'm glad you're feeling better. It just it sickens my heart to wake up and hear the disgusting and vulgar things I heard this morning. It sickens my heart to hear the disgusting vulgar things I heard the other night coming from her channel. That promoting abortion and that certain people should have been aborted is just it's dark and disgusting. I know. And you know how many moms kick their kids out of the house and say, "Don't disturb me while I'm watching my soap operas TV"? I was one of those kids. I couldn't come inside for 3 hours out of the afternoon because I get threatened with the belt because I was interrupting somebody's soap opera. Tell me that ain't some kind of disturbed addiction. I just find it disheartening that this world is in the state that we're in. There's so many other things to focus on and to talk about and expose, and we got to be wrapped up in this stupid drama, this stupid YouTube soap opera that doesn't make a fuck of a difference to just about anybody other than the people that are getting the likes and the content out of it. It's really disturbing, that a show that talks about mainstream problems and modern news or mainstream news. That's why I was triggered by what? Shoestring. Exactly, yo mama. And I mean, even back then, we didn't have internet. She watched them on TV. My aunts were the same way. They watched them on TV, and the kids were to be outside while the three stupid soap operas were on. And then VCRs came about, and they got to record the ones that they missed, and then you didn't get to be around for the hour in the evening. Go find something to do. I heard that more times than not. And this is no different. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, outlaw. And I tried to walk away, but like I said this morning, that was beyond, above and beyond anything that was okay. So yeah, I did have to speak my piece about it because that was disgusting. Yeah, Debbie, it is getting worse and worse every day, and nobody's well, people are seeing it, but we're not doing anything to try to correct it. I mean, the people that sit in these chat rooms on these people's channel are just they're gaslighters, they're enablers. They're codependent. I know, outlaw. That is what she does on YouTube, and she does it in a very vulgar way. That woman is the most vulgar woman I've ever met in my life, and I've known a lot of women, and I've known biker women, I've known trucker women. I used to drive truck. I used to know trucker women, and none of them have. I've never met a woman that is vulgar as her. That woman is pure dark energy. Angela, that's not what I'm trying to say. I don't think that's what your mom is trying to say either. Is people can be on YouTube and still be a responsible parent and raise their kids well, and that right there has nothing to do with Tamara or Kim. But the fact that I try to get away from the drama and keep this channel drama free and about educational purposes and try to have fun. And here I am making a rebuttal video, one of the things I swore I wasn't going to do. And here I am because of the shit that came out of Tamara's mouth this morning. And the fact that Kim thinks she can dictate when or if I make an apology to somebody. I'll make an apology when I'm damn good and ready. She doesn't dictate anything about my life. And I'm sure, more shit is going to be said after this video is released. If it's not already being made right now. So, whatever. But I had to say what I had to say because, like I said, one, you don't talk about somebody's parents. Two, you don't talk about somebody's kids. And three, you don't tell somebody that they should have been an abortion. That's just vulgar. I don't know, Angela. If you pay attention and you float around to certain rooms, you can tell when the kids aren't being tended to, whether they're screaming in the background, breaking shit, or they're coming in and interrupting because they're hungry or anything else. I mean, they're just, when there's plenty of time to do YouTube after they go to bed or while they're laying down for a nap or while they're at school. Me helping raise my son, I was never on any kind of social media when my son was around. I spent time with my son. I made sure that my son was taken care of, and he's grown up to be a productive member of society and an awoken member of society. Even though he was in the military, once he was in the military, he actually sent me a letter from boot camp that apologized for all the time that I spent for the year and a half before he went into boot camp trying to get him to change his mind. That, Dad, you were right. This is exactly what you said it was going to be. He doesn't regret it. It turned him into an even better man, a more responsible and what's the proper word? Properly scheduled. I mean, he I don't even know what the right word is, but it definitely made him a better individual. It gave him more structure. And that's fine, Angela. I mean, I respect your opinion. You can always voice your opinion here. Yeah, me too, yo mama. I mean, I've been on a little bit longer than that because I got on when Oregon. I didn't get on YouTube, but I started paying attention on YouTube and looking for content and information, news information when the Oregon situation took off. A little bit during the Nevada situation, the standoff at the bridge, but I really didn't get involved looking for information outside of normal media. Until until the Bundy standoff in the Moulin Refuge. Right, I agree, Angela. That's what before I started realizing the news was lying. That's what I thought YouTube was for. I still use it for that. And if there's something I don't know how to fix, I'll go to YouTube and seek out 3 or 4 different videos, compare the information given, and see what the similarities are and the differences are, and use critical thinking to be able to fix things. There's a lot of things that YouTube has taught me how to fix. Yeah, Debbie, the Vegas shooting was another one. I mean, when we can't trust our media, there's got to be another source of information that we can seek, and a lot of people seek it on YouTube. And now, even with the censorship that's going on YouTube, it's frightening that we can't even trust what we see on YouTube anymore, because you got Pete's and Tilly's and things like that where they're controlled and they're a psyop. So it's turning into a very, very scary place. Not just YouTube, the world in general. Yeah, Debbie, you're probably a better person for that. I mean, you've got a lot less influence, in, I guess, influencing you. But I agree, leaping larpers. It shouldn't be anybody's business, but I mean, people people that are addicted to drama seek out that information. They look for channels that are, when you go to one person's channel and they're fighting with somebody, you go to that person's channel they're fighting with, and then that person's fighting with another person, and it just starts a whole string of events. It's nuts. Now maybe I am nuts. I thought I was getting away from this leaping larpers. Like I said, until I woke up this morning and the shit that was said this morning was disgusting and vulgar, and something needed to be said about it, because I don't know. I could have been aborted. My mom had that option back in the day. Thankfully, I wasn't. And for somebody to have a dark mindset and a dark heart and say, that I should have been, well, it just goes to show their character. Good on you, Debbie. That's the best way to see it. Try not to get involved in this bullshit. My personal opinion, shoestring, is because they're addicted to drama. Whether they put their information out or somebody else puts their information out, it starts a circle of communication at the bare minimum, but it starts that dopamine release. When somebody hears their name on somebody else's channel, whether it's good or bad, a certain amount of dopamine is released. And once you're in it for a certain period of time, say 3 years, or 5 to 6 years, like some of these people, I don't even think they recognize the addiction. A lot of these people keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to step away. I'm not going to do this anymore," and then the next day they're back in it because they heard so and so say something, or they saw something on somebody's channel, or whatever the situation is. I mean, I made a pretty headstrong decision that I wasn't going to be part of this, and I wasn't going to freaking have my channel part of this situation anymore. But here I am, going back on what I freaking, what I intended. That's a couple of good questions, Angela. I think when it comes to YouTube and the participants on YouTube, there's very little done about the homeless. There's some channels that cover, the situations with the homeless, what the cities do to the homeless, what the police do to the homeless, what the homeless do to one another. But you're right. Do they try to help? Do they go out and, and make an honest effort to get the city to try to change their ways and provide programs? Not very often. Well, to answer Party Hardy, up until yesterday evening, when I saw that last video she did, I took a lot of her videos as comedy, as she's just batshit crazy. But the way she was talking about kids and abortions and how certain people should have been aborted and shouldn't have been aborted, it was disgusting, and it saddened my heart. So, like I said, I sent her a private email, giving her my opinion on a private platform, and then she turned around and made it public. You try to do things privately, and these people turn around and make it public. Kim's no different. You send her an instant message on Facebook, and then she wants to go and fucking make a live video talking shit about it. Why can't you just fucking message me back or email me back and give me your opinion or your rebuttal that way, and it stays private? But that's not how a lot of these things work. Certain people try to keep things private, and then they turn around and make it public. And I don't know what causes them to do that, other than the fact that they take it upon themselves that the drama is going to get them likes and clicks. And that's a disgusting way to get likes and clicks, in my opinion. Especially, if it's your own drama and that's how you're going to get your likes and clicks, cool. But when you're going to involve other people that were trying to stay private and you bring them in and make it public, that's a disgusting way to do things. And I'm guilty of it, and I've made my apologies for it, and I've tried changing my ways. But like I said, up until this morning, when I woke up and the shit that was said to me and the shit that I heard about me, it really fucking pissed me off. And I'm sure that's the reaction they were looking for. And that's fine. They got it. They got it fucking 110%. Angela, I mean, how can any one person give help to children off of YouTube when our own governments are trafficking children? Most of these people don't even give a shit about that, Angela. You can try to bring mentions of it, and you can try to enlighten people to the truth of the matter, but they just want to sit on their keyboard and bitch. Exactly, yo mama. You got to aim it at the right enemies, and we should all be freaking coming together, not infighting like all this crap is going on right now. I mean, we all, to a certain degree, are good researchers and can bring good content to the table, but we all keep getting sucked back into this crap and this infighting. This infighting is going to destroy this country. It's going to destroy this world, because it ain't just this country. Yeah, Leaping Larper's got a point. You really do got to watch your words, Angela. I mean, not just you, everybody on here, because it'll be misconstrued. It'll be twisted around. Exactly, yo mama. It's division tactics. And the CIA and the government is very good at dividing and conquering. They've done it for centuries and centuries. Not just our government. I mean, look at the UK. Look at how submissive those people are. Look at Australia. Look at how just recently, how many years ago was it that they gave their guns up? I can't remember. Was it 2015 when that situation went down in the harbor? That psyop went down in the harbor, and they all were convinced to turn in their guns. Yeah, I mean the divide and conquer tactics are endless. But we have to be grown-ass adults and use some critical thinking and some discernment and see it for what it is, and sidestep those tactics and still come together. I mean, think about your local neighborhood. How many local neighborhoods are where people still have block parties and they get together and talk to one another? Very few that I know of. I think I know I used to know more people in the neighborhood I lived in before I moved up here 3.5 years ago. But up here, I mean, I know 4 of my neighbors out of, there's probably 75 or 100 houses in this development. Now, I'm not saying you should know everybody, but I mean, you should definitely know people within, a 5-house radius of you. Those are the people that, if your house catches on fire and the fire department isn't going to get there, everybody can string their hose together and they can come help keep your house under control until the fire department gets there and does their job. Or if, somebody's choking and, your one neighbor's a paramedic, you go knock on your paramedic's door and can you come help? My child's choking. Or, we rely way too much on government entities to dictate and structure our lives. I know that's exactly right, Leap and Larpers. They'll come out and they'll live stream your house burning down. That's the world that we live in. It's well, yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. It really is disgusting. I'm glad you folks helped me turn this rant into something more productive. Thank you, chat room. It's been going for 53 minutes now, and yeah, the first half hour of it was definitely a rant. It should shoestring, but you know how many parents were bitching and complaining because they had to try to teach their children during the P word. I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to say it. During the P word, they were bitching and complaining that their kids couldn't go to school. Which, I mean, you can't blame them because most of those parents don't know the first thing about freaking teaching kids. They're grown-up kids anyways. This world is just, it's in bad shape. Oh, wow. That's interesting. It's odd that you claim you found us through Denise when she's one of the biggest drama larpers there are and one of the biggest liars there are when it comes to people, but to each their own. Mike, I'm glad you showed up. I wasn't going to let Kim dictate when I apologize to you, but I do owe you an apology that I misheard that conversation and I thought you said those things. And until Kim went and found the video and replayed it and I got to listen to it again and realized that you were just repeating what another conversation was. So yeah, I owe you a huge apology, Mike. And I'm very sorry that I ever said anything like that about you on a public platform. And if you'd like me to turn on my camera and say it to your face, so to speak, I will. Mike, I apologize. I should have never freaking made the accusations about you. But two, I should have researched it better before I opened my big mouth. But I didn't. And I mean, there's no taking it back now. I mean, it's been said, other than I can apologize. Angela's right. That woman makes up a lot of bullshit. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything bad about that woman other than she makes up a lot of bullshit. Thank you, Mike. That's what I want to do. I want to move forward too. I love your music, man. I caught your show last night. A lot of those songs I hadn't heard you release yet or released before. So that was awesome. I sit in these chat rooms and I shut my mouth anymore because I'm not gonna, people have their opinions about me. So I'll just sit back, observe, and that's what I do now. There's very few chat rooms that I'll actually, communicate with people in. People see me in Taco's chat room the other night. That's fine. I had an apology to make to her too, and that's why I went in her chat room, because that was weighing heavy on my heart. And I did make my apology. And there's a couple people in that chat room that, you know, just like other chat rooms, that I get along with and that I enjoy chatting with because they have good, pertinent information. Awesome, Mike. I appreciate that. I'll probably still stay quiet in your chat rooms, but that's a good question, Leapin. That's a good question. I mean, I know of a few that don't have the drama. Sean Ross, HROSS, Sean Ross has wonderful intel. That's what I'm doing on. I'll probably be doing that intel on Mondays and Tuesdays, most likely Tuesdays, and then I'll be doing the Sumerian history and the Anunnaki information on Sundays on this channel. That's what I wanted to focus on. That's why I stepped away from all that drama. I was trying to keep this channel clean and step away from that stuff, because there's more history and there's more pertinent knowledge and information that needs to be gotten out there that a lot of people don't know about. Well, Shoestring, tune in on a Tuesday or tune in on a Sunday. And my channel's just barely starting to take off, and you'll see some positive content. And I try to keep my chat rooms clean. You know, I don't want people infighting in my chat rooms. You know, we can banter back and forth and stuff like that and have a good time, and we can give our opinions and ask questions, and we can learn from one another. I agree, Debbie. It used to be researched material, and now it's partly research material on some days, and then other days it's this drama crap. Good luck, yo mama. And thank you, Shoestring. I look forward to seeing you here again. And like I said, you know, I make mistakes just like the next person. The difference is I can grow better and make myself better by apologizing and learning from my mistakes. And whether the drama club wants to acknowledge that or not, that's on them. But anytime that, you know, somebody's going to talk about my mom, or my mom shouldn't have an abortion, or, you know, anything disgusting and vulgar like that, yeah, I'm gonna speak up and counter it, because I think that's vulgar and disgusting. I know, Mike, but you're the same type of person. When you make a mistake, you apologize for it and you own it. You know, the one thing I can add to that is I apologize. It's taken me a week, you know, to own it, but I was kind of all right, I'll come out and say it. I was kind of setting up Kim, because I knew she was going to open her big mouth and she was going to freaking try to dictate that I needed to do this, or you got to do this. And that's bullshit. Don't tell me what I need to do or got to do. You ain't my mom. You ain't in control of my life. You know, I make amends when I feel the time is right. There's been a couple times that I wanted to step up and say something in one of your chat rooms, Mike, and then certain people showed up and I wasn't going to do it. And that's on me, you know? Hello, Brenda. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're back to doing your art videos. Your spin art's pretty cool. Your spin paint, I think is what you called it. Yeah, Shoestring. I've been hearing that for a couple days now. It's been sporadic on where it's been gone down and where it hasn't. I agree, Debbie. Why do that? That's a coward move. I mean, if you're going to make a rant video, own it. Leave that up. If you're ashamed of it, why'd you even do it in the first place? That just goes to show that you don't think before you act. Yeah, I know, Shoestring. Like I said, it's been sporadic on where it's hit. There's been certain carriers, phone carriers that have gone down. The NOAA satellites, if anybody watches Lori's channel, the NOAA satellites all went down for over 24 hours. Something was supposed to go down at midnight last night. Or this morning. I don't know if something went down or not. No, I know, Shoestring. That's why I'm putting my channel at risk, putting out the Sumerian history and the Sean Ross. Some people know him as Chatzi Frantz, CHATZ FRANTZ. That channel's been struck down numerous times because he speaks out about Switzerland. They say you can always tell who rules us when you can't speak about that entity. And when you speak about Switzerland, everybody says it's Israel and it's the Jewish people, and I think that's BS. I think the cabal has a certain control, but the cabal works for Switzerland. No, Brenda, you weren't here in the beginning. If you were, then you weren't paying attention. Things were said that didn't need to be said. Kim thinks she needs to dictate when or why I need to make an apology to certain people, and that's not her place. She can mind her own damn business. And Tamara/Wendy opened her vulgar fucking mouth this morning. Excuse my language. I'm still pissed off about it. About abortion and that my mom should have aborted me, that I'm a piece of shit, and that she's just pure dark energy. So yeah, I'm gonna speak up when people talk to me or talk about my family like that, Brenda. That's my right. People don't need to say those kind of vulgar things about anybody, let alone somebody's family that they have a problem with. She sits there and talks about how people talk about children and all this, and then she sits there and talks about abortion the way she did the other night. That's disgusting. So, but I'm probably gonna shut this down. It's been over an hour. I'm sure the lurkers have got plenty of content to go off of from here. Deacon, I'm glad you made it, man. Yeah, the coronal mass ejections are gonna cause some problems. They're some are saying that that's why the NOAA satellites went down. Others are saying that it was an update, but why are you gonna update something for 24 hours? I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you, Beacon. The sun's doing some weird things. I know, Outlaw, and that's why I'm trying to make amends with people, because I was doing the exact same shit for various channels, and that wasn't right of me. It wasn't right of me at all. You're welcome, Mike. And like I said, man, I'm glad we can fucking bury that stupid hatchet and we can move forward and grow, because I like your music and I like you. I think you're a good guy. I think you appear to be a good parent. It seems like you have a good relationship going on, and I give you props for that. That's awesome. I don't understand what you mean by that statement, Brenda. I don't think anything I had said had to do with women's rights. And if you think that a woman has the right to dictate my life, then I mean, you're sadly mistaken. The only woman that has a right to dictate anything in my life is my beautiful wife. All right, Clovis, I will. I want you to do another live show soon. Thanks, Mike. If you're taking off, have a good rest of your day, man. I don't know if you're still at work, but don't work too hard. I know turning wrenches is laboring work. I will, Clovis. I'll call you this evening. My son and my grandkids are going to be here, so I don't know what time, but I will call you. Jealous outlaw. I wish I had a boat. Well, I mean, I kind of do. There's a lot of maintenance, a lot of price owning a boat, but I am kind of jealous. Enjoy your boat. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down in about 2 minutes. That'll be about 1:10. So if you guys are going to exchange emails or however you're going to do it, do it. Oh, okay. I got what you're saying now, Brenda. I see what you're saying. I agree and I disagree. I said earlier that there's two reasons a woman should have an abortion. If she's raped, or if that baby is going to be terminal to her life, terminally detrimental to her life. It's going to, the baby's going to cost her life. So in my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, those are the only two reasons for abortion. Anything above and beyond that is supplemental. What do you call it? Birth control. It's supplemental birth control. That's a living thing. As soon as the seed is impregnated, that thing is a living organism. Tom McDonald, one of my favorite rappers, he says, it's funny that a microorganism is life on Mars, but a heartbeat on Earth isn't. That's goes back to environment, Brenda, and people's responsibilities and the way they handle things. That isn't, to me, that personally isn't a justification for abortion. You shouldn't have got pregnant in the first place if you knew you were in an abusive environment. I agree, Beacon. And I mean, and that's what I'm trying to do with my channel, is try to avoid that. And this wasn't supposed to happen today, but like I said, what I woke up to this morning, something needed to be said, and I wasn't going to put it on my First Amendment auditors channel, so it gets put up here. And nobody in their right mind can say that I got pregnant on accident. And if you don't recognize that you're in an abusive environment and you somehow get pregnant, that's your burden to bear, and you shouldn't. Nobody should be allowed to take the easy way out. You should be able to get away from that dangerous environment. The only time I kill flies is if they're being obnoxious to me personally. If they're flying around in the garage or they're flying around in the house, their lifespan is so short. Now, if they're personally being a nuisance to me, then yeah, I'll swat them. The only living organism that I openly will seek out and kill are mosquitoes, and that's because I worry about the various diseases that they carry, Zika virus and stuff like that. That's your opinion. Oh yeah, I'll definitely get into the Afghani caves and the bunkers that they have there when I start getting into the Sumerian stuff. I don't know if it'll be right away, but it will lead into some of the Afghan wars in the past, Russia's involvement, England's involvement, the artifacts and stuff that they were trying to seek out. It's something people don't quite understand and realize is a lot of our wars, the deep down rooted purpose is to collect artifacts and ancient texts and information. One of the first places that we invaded when we went to Iraq the first go around, Gulf War I, was their ancient library and the artifact stronghold. Yes, yep, the fallen angel tech. Yep, that's what they're after because they know it exists. They found so much of it. I mean, the Templars, the stuff that they had found under the Jerusalem temple back in the day, made them one of the strongest armies when they were just simpleton knights in the beginning. But once they took lodge underneath the temple, and they were hired to give safe passage for the patrons that were coming to pray and to seek homage, I think is the right way to say it, to give them safe passage. Once they started finding the sacred knowledge and the sacred geometry and stuff like that under the Jerusalem temple, they became one of the strongest armies in the world, and that's why they were outlawed all those years back. All right, Brenda, I got to look up here and see what you said. Oh, okay, so there you go. You just said she forgot the pill at home. Why was she having sex when she knows she forgot the pill at home? See, there's consequences to our actions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that abortion is a touchy subject for a lot of people, especially when a man is talking about it to a woman. And women are never gonna listen to a man's input when it comes to their body, in my opinion. Why didn't she go full term and give it up for adoption? Yes, he was. And there's so much information like that beacon down on Antarctica. I mean, that's why it's the most heavily guarded continent on the planet. Not just by us, but other entities. You can look at Admiral Byrd. He gives testimony, that there's other entities down there that are guarding that have way more advanced technology than we ever will. Hi, Threnis. Glad to see you. I'm working on getting a microphone so it doesn't sound all boxy. Like this thing on my onboard microphone on this laptop is kind of crappy. So I'm working on getting a noise canceling microphone. That should be getting here within the next week or two, depending on Amazon's delivery process, how that works. Could be sitting in a Connex somewhere on a boat outside the harbor for the last 6 months. Who knows? But as soon as I get my noise canceling microphone, that will improve my audio quality tremendously. And for some reason, when I do screen share, it is not allowing me to put the screen share audio in here. It's picking it up from my laptop speakers to my laptop onboard microphone. And it sounds horrible. If you caught my last presentation from Sean Ross, it sounded horrible. You could hear it, you could understand it, but it's annoying. And I understand that. So I want to get that problem fixed before I try to get into too many shows. People are picky about how they hear things and how things are presented. So I kind of want to be a little more professional before I get too far ahead of myself. Hope you all kind of understand that. And Beacon, I definitely want to have you on the show, man. I'm curious to banter back and forth about this kind of information. I think it would be a great show. So, but it's an hour 16. I probably should shut this down. I just wanted to vent, and then chat got me into chatting. So here we are. So, but I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I hope you all have a good day. Debbie, I'm glad you showed up. Beacon, glad you showed up. Athrenis, glad you showed up. Mike, I'm glad you forgave me. I'm glad we freaking buried that hatchet. Outlaw, I'm glad we freaking made things right. Angela, glad you showed up. I hope you show up at other presentations that I do. I love having you here. I like your brain. I like your personality. Let's see. Lost Horizons 52. Glad you were here. Brenda, glad you were here. Sorry if I made you mad with my opinions. Didn't mean to piss you off. Hope I didn't turn you away. Let's see who else was here that I should say bye to. All the lurkers. I'm glad you were here. Hope you got some content out of this. Yo, mama, I'm glad you're feeling better, bro. Glad you were here. Don't troll too hard. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Oh, Shoestring, glad you're here. Glad I got to meet you, man. Lady, I'm not sure which one you are, so glad you were here. Let's see. And LARPers, glad you were here. But hope you all have a good afternoon. Stay hydrated. Stay out of the sun if you can. Yeah, Clovis, school shopping's expensive. School shopping is definitely expensive. But then you take care too. Y'all have a good afternoon. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye, y'all.